Hello, people. Welcome. This is my final. I'm not centered. Nice, comfy virtual chair. Hello, everybody. This is my final thoughts on Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, Retribution. So, maybe pull out a snack, like a beignet perhaps, and just listen to what I have to say. So, let's talk about Saints and Sinners 2. What should I start with? For starters, did I enjoy the game? Yes. Yes, I did. But I couldn't help but think it could have been much better. Let's just take these off real quick. 1 second. No. There we go. I couldn't help but think it could have been a lot better, I admit. Because it was kind of disappointing, honestly. Only 3 new locations, 0 changes to actual gameplay. And overall, it just felt a little too similar to be considered a sequel, rather than just an expansion, a DLC. Because it's just Saints and Sinners 1. Now, I'm fine with that style of gameplay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm a huge fan of games like Hitman, and I Expect You to Die too, another VR game. But I can't help but think it's a little scummy to charge $40 for this. It's just 3 new locations, some new weapons, and a new campaign. The campaign is really what you're getting, honestly. Because, let's talk about positives real quick. Number 1, the campaign. The missions were so much more interesting this time. There were some occasionally good missions in Saints and Sinners 1, but for the most part, they weren't really that interesting. A lot of them were pump flow regulator thingies, or getting shit from, for May. This was much more interesting. Followed a revolutionary story, and it had much more varied gameplay. You would go to, secret areas of the map. There was a boss battle. An actual, real boss battle. And a pretty good one at that, with Garrick. There was some actually good quests, and I really did enjoy the main campaign. There were some really good moments, like going into Garrick's lair. And all in all, I would say the campaign was definitely a step up from Saints and Sinners 1. So good job for the writing department. But now also a simultaneous complaint with that. There is a huge, enormous missed opportunity to make it so the choices you made in the first game would carry over to this game. And honestly, that is fucking disappointing as all hell, because I totally expected that to be the case. If it's such a similar game. Honestly, if it wasn't for the unique weapons, would you even be able to tell this is Saints and Sinners 2? It's exactly the same. Same hub world. Same locations. With some new ones, but, you get the idea. And, yeah, there's some, new weapons and stuff like that, but at the same time, I can't help but feel the whole time playing that this is pretty much just the same kind of deal. Which is fine, because I loved Saints and Sinners 1's core gameplay. It was fun, it was engaging, it was great for a VR game, and honestly, it's easily by far, these games are easily by far the most hours I've had in any VR game, for that matter. But I can't help but think that they could have done a little bit more. They clearly weren't trying to reinvent the wheel. I feel like this game was very safe. It was very similar. They didn't try anything. And there's so much, and there's honestly kind of a few plot holes that don't really make any sense. Why did we even need the grenade launcher if it doesn't do anything? How did the revolutionaries drain the reserve when it was flooded with water? And then who took all the stuff in the armory? If we could drain it, then what's all this talk about the reserve was a bust? It was not a bust. What? That doesn't make any sense. And another thing, there is an ending in Saints and Sinners 1 where May lives. You can let May live if, like, you kill Casey and, like, just let her ring the bells. She doesn't, like, shoot herself, but there's nothing there. And that's another thing. I feel there could have been a real opportunity to, like, have stuff with Garrick transfer over. Like, there was so many stuff you could do with May in the first game that it's a shame that your choices don't carry over. So, and at least a dialogue change. And that's another complaint I have with this game. Your choices ultimately didn't really matter. They also didn't really matter that much in the first game. I will admit that. In the first game, your choices were mostly circumstantial. It would mostly just kind of vary the loot you got. Maybe you would get something. But all in all, there really wasn't much choices. But just because the first game didn't have choices that didn't really matter, it does not mean that justifies it. Like, if you're going to make the same game, you might as well improve on the problems of the first game. And that is honestly the biggest thing in this game. Because if you take a game like Hitman 3 or I Expect You to Die 2, there is a noticeable change. They improve on the things that were lacking from those games, whether it be basic quality of life features or sometimes even major gameplay changes. This game does not. They do not improve the problems, but they just add more. Not more problems necessarily, but they just add more stuff without fixing the stuff that was already there. And that's what pisses me off. Because, honestly, the biggest problem with this game, not the story, not the plot holes, not the weapon variety, nothing. It's the AI. Oh my god, they are so fucking stupid. Honestly, that tower scene perfectly emulated that. I mean, they can barely see you. Like when you're like a foot in front of them. I mean... And also, it somehow seems that the AI got downgraded from this, as they can now detect you from behind. There are multiple times in the game, where I'm just walking, and then I'm trying to sneak past a guy, and he's somehow detecting me, even though I'm behind them. That was not an issue with the first game. I never had that issue with the first game. But it is here. They just added a problem. And that's the thing. There's literally just added bugs. Perfect example, this. I can't clock this. I don't remember that being an issue in the first game either. I mean, like, what the hell? Like, how does this even happen? And also, I'm not sitting down anymore in the chair. I'm just kind of hovering. But it doesn't matter. I mean, how? Like, bro, every other weapon in the game is different. You're not supposed to go like that. You're supposed to go down. They couldn't even get that. That already was a thing. How do you mess something up that you already did? You already made it. And then there's like other things. There's a real lack of variety in this game. I know I was talking about the campaign missions, but I'm just saying how the campaign missions were varied compared to the first one. I'm not saying they're really that varied overall. It's still mostly just go here, do something, come back. Go here, get something, come back. And like, they really couldn't have like done anything different. I'm so annoyed that they did not fix the fucking AI. And I'm also annoyed that characters from the first game did not come back. Mainly, and honestly the only character I really care about, Casey, did not return from the first game, which in my opinion is just so dumb because he was easily the best character from the first game. And he just disappears, unexplainably. He just disappears, never to be seen again. And honestly, that's so annoying and so just disappointing. And honestly, all the new stuff that they added isn't really that special. Like a knife that's just a reskin of another knife. They have the safari rifle, which is just a more powerful bolt action. They have laser sights, which I admit those are cool. They have these gloves, which once again, I admit, those are cool. And the SMG, which, I mean, it's just like, I mean, the assault rifle is still better, honestly. That's the thing. All these new weapons, with the exception of the grenade launcher, that thing's fucking awesome, are still kind of inferior to the assault rifle. I appreciate that they're trying to add more weapons to just make sure you couldn't just shoot everybody. That was a very big problem with the first game. Everything could be solved with the M4. The M4 was by far the best weapon in the game. There was not even any competition. Like why use any other weapon? Like, there was literally no other point. I appreciate that they're adding, like, more enemies and more kind of variety stuff to make the gameplay more interesting. And that's another complaint. The Eradicators don't make any sense. The first time I ever saw them, they died with a single shotgun blast. Later in the game, they took more bullets. But even always, knives can pierce their helmet, which is actually contrary to what the game tells you, because there's a tip where it's like the Eradicators of the new tower enemies chop off their arms or like hit their... It doesn't say that you can stab. So you're trying to tell me that a literal bottle, a glass bottle, can go through that helmet, but a 9mm pistol round cannot. I somehow doubt that. I somehow doubt that. They don't even work properly. Sometimes they work as intended, and other times they don't. But it honestly doesn't even matter, because they still use the same goddamn AI. So it doesn't matter how much health they have, they're still so stupid. Enemies have the attention span of a goldfish. They literally forget you exist if you just duck behind a desk for like less than a second. What is this, cyberpunk? I mean... That was probably... I'm pretty sure that was the biggest complaint from the first game, that the AI was pretty shit. And they didn't even fix it. And that's another thing. Another major complaint I had is the bugs. This is unbelievable. Game lagging at certain points. Walkers totally glitching out. Walkers spawning in the middle of nowhere. Even when I was literally just in that room and they had nowhere to spawn. Like... the game literally crashing and having to reset all my progress. The gun not clocking. Like, losing control of the ability to shoot your guns. None of these were issues in the first game. Oh, and are we gonna even talk about the chainsaw? One of the premier new weapons that does not work as intended. This is just a buggy mess. This thing is... I don't think I really use this in the playthrough, but I have used this on my free time. This thing is not right. Hello. I'm good. Mom, can you go? Mom, can you go, please? Mom, can you please just go? I'm sorry, guys. Remember, I have a life. Like, I'm not some Let's Player that is like... has like his own home and doesn't have like to do anything. This is not my job. I'm just doing this to preserve my reactions and memories and thoughts. So if you're expecting like a high quality thing, then just don't leave. I mean, this is the last episode, so like I don't think you'll really leave if you made it this far. The point is that I think I'm rambling on a little too much. All in all, I feel this game could have been... Oh yeah, and that flare is permanently broken. I that has been there since the beginning of the game, and I cannot fix that. Okay. All in all, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2, Chapter 2 was fun. I did enjoy it, and it was a good time. But at the same time, I can honestly not recommend it due to the insane amount of bugs that were just not present in the first game that totally ruined the experience, like the game crashing, making you restart all your progress, or the main weapons not working, or enemies not working, or AI completely bugging out. I saw people where like the Garrick boss fight was completely glitched, which is such a shame because I honestly, that was probably the highlight of the game for me, the Garrick boss fight. Oh, and let's not even talk about another complaint, the constant character animation bugs, the voice acting not syncing with the lips, just the characters constantly bugging out, glitching through fucking chairs. Like when the revolutionaries died, they had the other two people, Echo and Sable, had literally zero reaction. They just stood there. And I thought maybe it was just a one-off thing. But no, I don't think I've seen a single video where they attack. I think they are just permanently stuck like that, and they will just sit still. Like, what? Those are the worst bugs, because they'll just totally ruin the story, which is honestly the best part of these games. That's what I like. The choices, the ability to kill characters early. That's what's cool about this game. And all the guns. But I cannot recommend it due to the insane amount of bugs, the pretty lackluster content with honestly not adding much in the grand scheme of things. While it does add a few weapons, I mean, it's not enough. The lack of new locations, and honestly, just like overall, it's just too similar. Maybe I would, if this game is ever on sale, I would totally pick it up. But in its current state, with the lack of content, extreme amount of infuriating bugs, and just overall lack of effort, this is just a $40 kind of cash grab, honestly. I don't really like to use that word, but it really is. Like, I'm disappointed. But like I said, I did have a lot of fun with this game. And I'm probably going to play some more. I might. But I don't think I'll record any longer. I think I might just do stuff in my free time. Maybe I'll record. I think you can get a suppressor, unlike your guns, which is pretty cool. I think you have to do the Exile Trader quests to do that, though. But, oh no. Is the game fun? Yes. But is it worth $40? No. And with that, that is the Tourist signing out, folks. It's been real. It has been real. This is the first time I've ever done a proper Let's Play of anything, really. And, if you're hearing this right now, thanks for coming along. Because I know I would never watch this, because this is dog shit. This is genuinely probably the worst Let's Play you've ever watched, because there's no structure. I leave at multiple points, and it just goes on and on and on and on, and I'm not entertaining. But, if you did, and if you're listening to this, then thanks. Thanks for watching. But know this. If there's ever a DLC for this game, or even a Saints and Sinners 3, you bet your ass that the Tourist will return to NOLA to have his Retribution. And with that, folks, I will conclude this broadcast day. I am the only demon now. All in all, I think my playthrough was more of a sinner playthrough. But I do appreciate you joining me on this journey. And like I said, if there's anything else, I will come back. But for now, I think I might retire the old weapon rack and just kinda lay low for a bit. Towers on my tail. Stay safe, folks. And honestly, genuinely jokes aside, thanks for watching.